Hello. Excuse me. There we go. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Big, or the Big Beef Gamer. Today, I'm here to make a video. I did make this video before, but something happened to the footage with my audio, so it crapped out a little bit. So I decided I'm gonna go ahead and redo it again, like I did before. But so for today, we're going into the lore of Brandon. If you've seen the thumbnail of this video, yes, we're going into the lore of Brandon. So, how should I start this off? Like I did probably in the last video that I tried to make but failed. It's also 3:45 in the morning, so excuse me if I sound a little bit tired. And my throat sounds a little bit dry. Yeah, so excuse me about that. But so, yes, we're here to talk about the story of Brandon. And so let's go ahead and get on. So Brandon was born in Universe 13, one of the erased universes. He was born on the planet of the Sands at the time. I haven't thought of a name for the planet of the Sands, so yeah. Anyways, the Sands in this universe were actually quite peaceful and did trade with other planets, with the Namekians and everything else. And now Brandon here was like Vegeta. He was the prince of the Sands around the time before their extermination. His family was known as royalty, like god royalty, because his father was able to go into like a god tier state of a Super Saiyan form. Around this time, Super Saiyan was mainly known and taught to their kids and so on and so forth. Brandon was trained by his father and mother. So yeah, and these cylinder glasses that he's wearing right now belonged to his father after his father's death, defending his homeworld. His father died protecting his family, protecting him and his mother. After that, it was a couple years later on the planet until the universe. So Brandon was sent out on a scouting mission around the time he was in the military, because the Sands were at war with the Namekians at this point, because something happened. And upon this, Universe 13 was getting erased at this moment, but he somehow survived because the power that his mother and father gave him protected him enough to evened out the power of the Omni King, so therefore teleporting him to Universe 7, where he learned how to fight, where he pretty much crashed, learned what was going on, learned about the universes and all that stuff, learning about what was going on around here and everything. Then he hears about two people known as Goku and Vegeta, wondering about them. He goes to Bulma's place because he finds out a way. I mean, Bulma was most likely known around this time because her father, billionaire, that sort of thing. And plus, he was able to sense Goku and Vegeta's ki. So when he over there, it took everyone by surprise the fact that Brandon was in fact, a Saiyan. Because, of course, in their universe, Universe 7, the Saiyans don't exist because their home planet was destroyed. So they couldn't believe that another Saiyan somehow survived, quote unquote. But then Brandon told the story about his his universe and everything, about being a Saiyan and all that. So they're very surprised. And of course, this is also around the time when Beerus was around, and Whis and Beerus were very surprised at the fact that they seen someone survive an erasure of a universe, because they know the person that did it, which was the Omni King, but Brandon didn't know at the time. Oh, excuse me if I stop talking for a second, like I'm saying a lot without catching my breath. So yeah. So yes, so after that, trying to think of what I said before, because I kind of forget. This is like a few hours later after saying the first. After spending time with Goku, Vegeta, and everything, A time patroller Trunk stops on by, hearing about this sand that survived the entire erasure of a universe. Therefore, collecting him, he agreed to go with him to learn more about what happened and about his power, but also how to erase the minds of Goku, Vegeta, and everyone there besides the gods, aka Beerus and Whis, because they would remember, because since how they are in a god tier. Then forth came the story of Toki Toki City, when Brandon saved that, and in between the time of Kanton City and Toki Toki City, this is where, after saving everyone, Brandon was able to return back to Universe 7. And he met a young woman who was in danger, who was very hurt after her village being attacked, aka Amy, aka his wife. When he first met his wife, her village was under attack. He stopped in and stopped the attackers, meeting everyone, and decided to travel with her and the village for quite some time, getting to know Amy more and falling in love with her. Therefore getting married and then having the child known as Brad, who is the main story of my who is the main character in my story. See, I'm dealing with the cold a little bit right now. I don't know if I'll get over it, but it's like a little bit stuffy. Anyways, so that's when then everything happened with Universe 2. Now, the reason why I don't like using the Brandon that's here in Xenoverse 2, this is for my own headcanon, is that after what happened with Toki Toki City, and after staying at home after all that to raise his child, around the ages of 9, Brandon left to go train with Whis and Beerus on his own home world, training there to become a protector, not just for his family, but for the Time Patrol as well, because they need at least someone to have that power that Goku and Vegeta has, at least somewhere in the Time Patrol. Now, this is what inspired Brad, his son, to start training, and so he trained with his mother. His mother, now, Amy was not that very strong since she was a human, but she was very, very strong in her village and helped develop the style for Brad as his father was gone training. So, yeah. So around this time, Brad was, training with Whis and all that, learning how to control Super Saiyan Blue, or Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan, as other people know it. No one would ever suspect that that Brandon would get that form so quickly. But remember, his DNA has the power of a god, or a type of deity, already in him. So him achieving that form was the quickest thing that could possibly happen, besides turning into a Super Saiyan for the first time. And then after that, we meet up in episode 3. Well, not quite in episode 3, because after that he did decide to come back home and help teach his son a little bit more about the Saiyan biology and how the Saiyans work and how to achieve the Super Saiyan form. Brandon was the one to teach his son to go Super Saiyan for the first time. He was very proud on that day of his son Brad becoming a Super Saiyan. And around this time, no one knew, not even his son knew, not even his wife knew about the transformation that he got, becoming pretty much a god now. So yeah. So around that sort of timeline, he decided to stay home, like retire from the Time Patrol, do a little bit of scouting missions now and then, but he officially retired later on down the line, just chilling with his wife and training and all that, waiting for whenever they needed him again. And then then Brad and Amy sent their son, Brad here to Kanton City, where we get the story a little bit of Brad. Now, it doesn't go full in just because I didn't do the school thing, because I may do that as a cool little spin-off type series where we meet a young Brad learning the ropes of being at OnStar High School, where Brandon was taught as well, at least for a little bit. But they send him off here, and then we meet Brad, the way he is today. So it's a little bit of lore between Brandon and Brad a little bit. But if you want to go more in depth with Brad, because I kind of have his future planned out a little bit as well, including in the series. So the series is not just also about telling the story of Brad, but it's also telling the story about Brandon, which, if you guys want, I could try to do a series focusing on Brandon a little bit, probably around that time, when he was training with Beerus and Whis and all that stuff. But I don't know, depends on what I have and what the game can pretty much offer me, since I mostly do the roleplay stuff by myself. Along with that, the reason why I have not done episode 5 quite yet is because if we look over... Yeah, we need to go all the way over here for a sec. Okay, like right here, we go over here. Let's just do this, do that. If we look at the character selection screen, I don't have a whole lot of characters, as you can clearly see. I got most of the DLC characters, so I could add the DLC characters, such as like Majin Buu, Goku Black, which I will. And I think episode 6, I'll have Brandon fight Goku Black, which will be a 2-part episode. So the fight will take place in two episodes, episode 6 and episode 7, when they both go into their god forms and everything. Also, as well, so for Brad, I do plan on giving him a transformation, but not the Super Saiyan Blue transformation. It is the Super Saiyan 4 transformation that I will be giving him soon. I'm also probably going to work on a new intro as well, since I'm adding more of my own type of characters too. So, and also, if you're wondering about the mystery woman, you will find out in a later episode of who she is and what's going on with her. And then when she's fully fleshed out in the story, I will let you know about her origins, or her lore, I guess you could say, because I already have that planned out, which is quite interesting, because there is some stuff that I did not tell you about Brandon, but if I told you that sort of thing, that would reveal the identity of this strange female character that I've made. So you'll have to wait until I get episode 5 out quite a bit. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you guys want some more lore videos, such as like maybe some more on Brad, or maybe something on Amy, or maybe one of Brandon's villains, such as Dr. Zoe. If you guys want to see what's about with Dr. Zoe, let me know down in the comments below. Until then, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!